Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. LightsThunderAction will be on right after these songs.
Tommy Torettic. See, I don't like doing this, but I'm gonna teach you a little bit about the world. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to the shop of Anonymous. I swear I don't want anything to do with this, I promise this. You hear me screaming from the top, I'm dropping knowledge. A barrel's too far gone for a rookie, so I'm calling this. Game over for you, trumps the grind is all I know and do. Breathing fire like a dragon's or new power coming through. Yeah, I'm working 3 jobs so that I can frack that crew. The money you dummy in front of no honey, can take that love from me. Going to the future and never coming back. Marty McFly, now more like his dad. Trying to be calm, all this news is just whack. Propaganda flying, so know everybody mad. Empathy is gone, so we all for attack. If you disagree, you're just stupid and sad. Use intolerance or must be smoking crack. Ignorance is bliss, y'all, just to die, yeah. 2 sides of the same coin, killer. Why we ever stop living up for pillars? Acting like everything in life must be a thriller. We're living in a world written by Frank Miller. Cause the Dark Knight's return, so now we turn. See our heroes messed up and now we spurn them because it pisses us off and now we burn their careers alive to the ground. Cause we yearn to be in that position so that we earn millions and millions and millions. But then we turn into the very thing we hate. Now we revert and we refer to the lines that we rehearse. Spread love and forgiveness only to sink deeper. What did we learn? Extract myself from the world. Water, earth, fire, air, swirl. Bend it to your will, then hurl. Flying buffalo, why don't you give it a whirl? Grab a saber, then just twirl. Force cut a pear, give her a pearl. Power unleashes a churl. Join the dark side with me. Guess it's time I get back to work. Captain of my own enterprise, call me Kirk. Anger and depression always seem to lurk. Round every corner, so I write this just a perk. Everybody moved up, cause we screwed up. Living in a country where we shoot up. Anybody disagree, just to move up the food chain where you grew up. Otherwise they beat you down cause you used up. Time to boot up, new mindset program. Think you knew us, but you shoe us. You only care about us to subdue us, just to screw us. Living in a country full of Judas. Stab you in the back, USA or Brutus. Call them Lucius. Bringing out the Dark Knight, now we tuned up. Time to scoop up any positivity while the masses all have clueless. They can only catch your speed, Mr. New One's opportunist. Leave them naked in the ground, talking ruthless. I am ruthless. Visions full of kid grown ghoulish, broken ruthless. Stating problems like Confucius, call me Tommy Torettic or Nostradamus. Who this? Who this? Who this? Who this? Who this?
We got a sticky situation, honey. Can't you see we got 1,130,000 zombie bees? It's like for the living dead to go. Buzz, buzz all around your head to go. Science, genetically altered minds, infested these were dead, but they rose from the grave instead. We had a minute zombie years ago. Buzz, buzz, all they please. C-O-M-B-E-Z. Zombies. C-O-M-B-E-Z. Zombies. C-O-M-B-E-Z.
Don't like it when your man takes off his...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, June 28th. Welcome to episode 62 of Lights, Thunder, Action, where every week two Thunder Buddies discuss all things Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and the latest happenings in the entertainment industry. I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
My name's David Thompson, and today we've got a fun show planned for y'all. We've got the news to discuss. There's plenty of that. We will be ending today's show by discussing our top 3 movies so far of 2021. Theaters are starting to open back up. Movies are coming out, ladies and gentlemen. We've got things to talk about and movies to review with a very special guest who we'll get to in just one moment. Thomas, before then, what do you got for me?
As always, every week we live stream directly into your homes and phones via Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. I always forget. I always forget to update it in the notes. Not just with the LightsThunderAction stuff, which you can find all of our links and streaming locations through Linktr.com/LightsThunderAction, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces, as well as the HWWSWebTV's family of networks. We have their Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Speaking, David, of having, all these places that we go, there's if they don't want to see our ugly mugs, where can they listen to our beautiful voices?
Yeah, if you guys don't want to look at us, you guys can see us, or not see us. Take that back. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, and a bunch of other places to find your audio podcast. Please, if you let me know if you use a certain audio podcast feed or app, website, and we're not on there, just look up Lights Thunder Action. We should be there, but if not, please let me know, and I'll try to fix that quickly. Our full catalog of live shows, along with our interviews, specials, they should be all up live now on Apple Podcasts and all those places where you should be listening to our audio version. Hey, can't catch the whole live show, going for a jog, driving your car, check out the audio podcast. Please subscribe, follow. Quick aside, too, we also just started doing A-lister movie reviews on our feed with me and my friend Kevin Budasang. We did F9. It's up there. That is an audio-only podcast. So check it. That's the only place you can find it there on the Lights Thunder Action page. That's a show where we just basically just review movies we just came out of seeing. It's a fun time. Go check it out on all those feeds. All right, Thomas, it's time.
It's time. It's time. We are joined by an HWWS family member from Nerd Culture, the host of And I Quote from the great state of Maryland, Ryan the Quote Permison.
Where is he? There he is.
That is quite possibly the best intro I've ever heard in my entire adult life. So, Thomas Carter Rochester, I thought I was good at giving great promos and intros, but you, my young man, you bested me. I'm speechless. I'm without speech. I can't believe this. This is shocking. Shocking, I say, that this has happened on the interwebs. But I'm just happy to be here, fellas. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for having me. Imagine what would have happened if I appeared on episode 60. Oh, wait, we can't talk about that. We're going to keep this family-friendly as humanly possible. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Hey, we might have to arrange that.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invite, LTA crew. I love you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for having or for being on our show.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen your face and we could talk.
Yeah,
know,
I
it's-
think
it's-
Like 6 months, I think.
the last
I
time
had-
the three of us did anything, I think, was that Spider-Verse rewatch
Yeah.
many moons ago.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, yeah. How long ago was that? Like 10 years ago? Because last year felt more like a decade.
Yeah.
Oh
Mm.
my gosh.
It was almost a
Whew.
year ago, I think, actually. I think it was last July. Maybe last
I
August.
think so.
Oh my gosh.
We did a few watch-alongs. It was a
Yeah,
fun
Crazy.
time.
they were fun. They were fun, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for being here, Ryan. We're so happy to have you. So happy to have someone from the HWWS family on our show. Obviously, you know how much they do for us here. And we're so glad to have you. One thing I wanted to discuss before we get into the news, something I've been watching, kind of a routine here, ritual at LTA. I went out to a theater and I saw F9. Obviously, I just mentioned you guys can check out the review on our audio podcasting feed.
Mhm.
I had such a fun time with it. We're going to discuss it right at the top of the news. But honestly, I just kind of want to talk about the experience. So it was an IMAX theater, AMC, and AMC just lifted their restrictions on seating in theaters, where there's no longer any restriction on. There's no more social distancing,
right.
basically. So everyone can just squish up against each other if they so desire. So anyway, I walk in this theater. It's Thursday night, opening night, 7:00. Me and my buddy Kevin got our tickets like well in advance, like right when we could. And it was probably like, it's a big IMAX theater. Thomas knows. Thomas has been in this theater. It's a pretty big theater. And it was probably like 75% filled. An absolutely great time. I really enjoyed the movie. I'll talk about that way later in the show, but really enjoyed it. And it was just like the experience was so much fun. It was the first time it felt like the theater was properly back and really geared me up for Black Widow coming July 9th. So
Okay.
it was so, I felt alive.
You know, I have one question only, David.
Sure.
How was the dinosaur thing?
The dinosaur thing was really cool, actually. It's like the most teaser of a teaser, but it being
For
an IMAX
Jurassic World Kingdom? Dominion.
Yeah.
Dominion. That's the name of the new one. Okay.
Yeah, and that doesn't come out. It comes out in a year. So it's a really, really early on like trailer or a little like
Lord.
tease. It's not a trailer at all. But it's extended. It's kind
a
of like a
tease.
prolonged like scene. There's two scenes, but I think it really was just to show off how beautiful it looks. I mean, the CGI is like insane, and just being in the IMAX and you're hearing like the doom doom of the dinosaurs. It was really cool. It was a really fun time, and yeah, I think they just did that kind of like hype people up, one, and two, just kind of show off like. And I will say one other thing I wanted to point out. Sorry, before we move on. I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just been watching trailers and things like that on my phone so much lately, and I haven't been in the IMAX in very long. But the trailers looked insanely good. Like Black Widow, I was in awe. My mouth was like my jaw was on the floor, because especially there's that part where she's flying in the air and she like, and I think Taskmaster or her like puts a knife through that like metal board or whatever, and you see like all the shards coming out. That shot looked incredible. Like it was so crisp and just, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see that movie. But yeah, I will say
close.
It got me so hyped just for like the next 6 months and beyond of just the theater, but especially the rest of this year. Because as me and Thomas talked about last week, there's so many good movies coming our way this year after everything got pushed back from COVID. But enough about me. Anything either of you have been watching lately you guys want to discuss?
Ryan?
Oh, great. Now the spotlight's on me. No, but in all seriousness, though, the last thing I saw, now granted, I've been watching movies from the comfort of my own home because I'm still a little anxious, trepidatious about going back into the theater, being with 20,000, not 20,000 people, that's my wrestling terminology coming out, but being in a theater with hundreds of people, that's a little too soon. So I'm enjoying it from the comfort of my own home, but the latest movie I have seen that is a movie that actually came out in 2021, not because I've been continuing my education in movies, so I've been watching all these classic films on like DVR and stuff like that and streaming services. Thank you, streaming services. You're cool. Was Cruella. I saw Cruella with Emma Stone, one of the most talented young actresses in the world today. So that was an experience.
Yeah, I really liked
way
Cruella.
to put it. Yeah, we'll get back to Cruella later. I've seen some lists, so I think
You've
Cruella.
seen some lists.
I've seen some lists. I feel like Cruella might be making another appearance, Doc.
Anything from you, Thomas? Anything you've been watching?
Our last show was Thursday, right?
Thursday. Yep.
Okay. Did we talk about what we watched that day? Because I don't remember.
I think it
I need
was.
I need to know because I've
What
seen a bunch
happened
of
last
stuff.
week?
I've seen a bunch of stuff in the last week, but I don't know if I've talked about everything.
I don't remember talking about it that day.
Fanboys. We talked about fanboys. I don't. Yeah, that was okay. Anyways, I figured it out. All I've watched is Legends of Tomorrow and The
Okay.
Bad Batch,
Oh,
and I don't. Oh, that's what it was. I remember. Mr. Benedict's Curious. I can't remember the damn name of it now. This is so-
What?
It's
What is
the Benedict Society, right? Oh, it's not that. I'm very sorry, Mr. Vision. The Mysterious Benedict Society. Thank you, research
okay.
department.
Oh,
On Disney Plus.
okay.
I feel like the show was made for me. Like the opening 15 to 20 minutes is just like kids going through tests, and it's like, are you weird? And then it has like all of these insane little tricks that they pull on these tests. And at the very end, there's like 4 kids, and they go and they meet Mr. Benedict, and then he's like, "Yeah, I need you to save the world," and it ends. And it is like a bunch of. It reminds me. Someone was like, It reminds me of Lemony Snicket, and I was like, it does have those
Okay.
vibes.
Yeah.
Very much has those vibes. And I do believe it was a book or something at one point in the history of
Mhm.
the universe, or the
Yeah.
multiverse, or the sacred timeline. And it's brilliant. I really recommend it. If you feel like you're an outsider, it's made for you. And I'm really intrigued to see where it goes because it sets up a lot of great things, and it seems like it's a very intellectual show that won't be like hyper complex in the sense of, say, our theories on WandaVision and Loki, David. It's more of I have theories of what might be going on, but it's so much more, it could be this, it could be that, as
Right.
opposed to the multiverse, Mephisto, everywhere. So,
Right.
a little bit different vibe. Highly recommend it. Also, Legends of Tomorrow, David, get your shit together, Carol. David and Carol. I like how I pulled back a
Good
dodgeball
Lord.
reference in the middle of it. Before we dive into the news and everyone's favorite segment, it's important to remember that we got bills to pay. It's in Suncoast Fan Fest. Will be September 24th through the 26th in Bradenton Area Convention Center in shocking Bradenton, Florida. If you go to suncoastfanfest.com, when you're purchasing your tickets, you enter the promo code HANGIN21, HANGIN21, to get 10% off your tickets right then and there to Suncoast Fan Fest. Again, September 24th to the 26th. Also, these art pieces right here, wow, I was right on the point, are made by Josh Bauer. Obviously, we got to represent the Power Rangers for my boy Ryan Permison. And then, of course, Deadpool, because fuck it, you guys haven't seen that one yet. But if you want to learn a little bit more about Josh Bauer of J Bauer Art, then we got you covered. J Bauer Art has the graphic design skills you need to develop your next logo, and at an affordable price. But he's not just a one-trick pony. Follow J Bauer Art on social media to interact during live paintings and see all of his previous artwork, which you can buy exclusively at jbauerartshop.com. Not only is he an artist, this beautiful son of a blue brings you the Back Talk with Bauer podcast every week with unique guests. And every month he hosts a special Back Talk with Friends episode that can only be described as chaotic and hilarious. Need a video intro or commercial? J Bauer Art has you covered. For all of this and more, follow J Bauer Art on social media. That's JBAUERART. Check out jbauerart.com for a full portfolio and jbauerartshop.com to buy that special painting for you and your loved ones.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
A small town corner has to team up with her ex-fiancé to save her town from a swarm of mutant honeybees. There's action, drama, humor, maybe even a flamethrower or two. There's definitely a ton of bad bee puns and a very unlikely Hawaiian-wearing hero, dude. This classic sci-fi feature cheese fest, written and directed by Alicia Marie and starring local talent from the Emerald Coast, invites you to join our journey from conception to reception by visiting Linktr.com/zombies the movie to keep up with all the buzz and donate to GoFundMe again. Linktree.com/zombies the movie.
I'm GW Pomacher.
I'm Dina Marie.
I'm Sage Ia.
I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
Hey, I'm David Thompson.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hey there, this is Dave Adams.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Rose.
Jerome Conner here.
Hey guys, it's Josh Bauer.
Willow Schuyler. I'm Cosplay Michael.
It's your boy Country.
I'm Ryan Permison.
And I'd like to ask you guys,
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
please
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Please subscribe to HWWS
WebTV.
great bunch of people.
and don't forget to smash the bell.
Ring that bell.
Smash that bell.
Hit that bell.
Hit the bell to be notified.
Hit the bell to get notified of new shows.
And videos.
You're going to want to do that, so do that soon.
So we can cross that 20,000 mark
And get us to 100,000 subscribers
to 1 million and 10 million and 100 million.
on HWWS.
WebTV.
You'll really like it. I guarantee it. Thank you.
Now it's time for this beautiful journalist to my right to enlighten us with new information from across the multiverse. David Thompson, kind of a big deal, works for the direct.com and disinsider.com. You see him here every week, and that is why it's everyone's favorite segment.
What the news?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what the news, and my favorite kind of news, box office news. We didn't have the box office to talk about for so long, and now finally it's back. I'm going to be reading off of Variety.com today. This was the best article I could find. Thank you, Variety, for just breaking it down in a concise way that was easy to read and great for the show. So shout out to Variety for this article on the F9 box office. The vroom vroom. It just took off this weekend. After
It
many delays,
really did blast off, right, David?
it really did blast off.
So, David, who won the weekend? Was it the nines of the F variety?
Oh, I don't even know who was in second place. Yes, F9 definitely. F9 definitely won the weekend.
F9.
That's shocking.
After many delays over the course of a year and a half, F9 opened to a mighty $70 million at 4,179 North American venues. So domestically, It made $70 million this weekend. That's by far the largest start for a movie in the U.S. box office, not just since the onset of COVID-19, but since 2019's Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. So basically, since Rise of Skywalker, this is the biggest movie since. I guess maybe the only thing that could have, nothing really came out after then, before the pandemic started, that would have even really rivaled it as like a big blockbuster. But yeah, quickly, a couple other notes. F9 is the latest blockbuster hopeful to set a new box office benchmark for COVID times. Prior to this weekend, Paramount's A Quiet Place 2 held the pandemic era opening weekend record with 48.3 million in inaugural ticket sales. So before now, The record was 48.3 million, and this jumped up. This made 70 million. So, positive all around. Now I want to take a step back here and look at some pre-COVID Fast and Furious numbers that I thought were kind of crazy. Fate of the Furious, which opened at 98 million, and it ultimately grossed 226 million in North America and 1.2 billion worldwide. The 2015 entry, Furious 7, marked a franchise high, posting a huge 147.2 million in its first 3 days of release, on its way to 353 million at the domestic box office and 1.5 billion globally. I forgot Furious 7 made nearly 150 million opening weekend. Absolutely wild. And now F9, just kind of round this out. F9, because internationally it opened a little ahead of the United States and Canada, like big markets like China and some others. F9's now at $405 million globally. Thomas, you saw all this box office goodness. What do you think of it?
Sweet, dude. Looks like movies are back, baby.
Yeah. Ryan, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that, despite everything that's happened, people are, slowly but surely getting back into the swing of things, going back to theaters, seeing films the way most films are meant to be experienced, I would think. Now, granted, I may have gotten off the bandwagon of the Furious family back when Furious 7 came out after the events of Paul Walker's death. The franchise said, stop there!
Yeah.
But they didn't. They kept milking the cash cow. Hey, it's working out for you so far, John Cena. Apparently, you're the brother of Vin Diesel that's been missing for 20 years. So much for family, Vinnie Mac. But aside from that, yeah, look, I may not be in the Fast and Furious bandwagon, probably never will be ever again. But you know what? Congrats to the cast and crew, because we've been through heck. We've been through 7 rings of you know what. It's time for the human race to get back on its feet into the theater. So congrats, everybody. You did it. Granted, I would have chosen a different film for this to set box office records. That's just me personally. But good for Fast 9. And John Cena, you can't see me. Oh, we can see you because you made over 70 mil in 3 days now.
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, I enjoyed the movie. It's definitely a one to see in a theater. It's a lot of fun. And 70 million, as it's not quite where we would be pre-pandemic for a movie like this. It's working towards that way. And I mean, this will probably end up making I want to say roughly maybe 600 million globally, probably less than that, maybe 500 million globally, which is like half of what the previous one made, over half. So we'll see. But this obviously is in a world where not only are people still cautious and tentative to go back out to the theaters right now, but a lot of people are just enjoying watching from home. This obviously isn't a movie that you can watch from home, so you have to go out to the theater. But I think kind of the big news coming out of this, at least for me, is let's see what Black Widow does with a Disney Premier Access counterpart on the same day. This had 70 million. Will it beat it? I think it's tracking to beat it at 70 million. But I think all in all, this is a good sign. Things are trending upward at the movies. And as time goes on, I think the big one of the year, obviously, is Spider-Man No Way Home, to see what that can do in December.
Oh my gosh!
Because I mean, in a normal world, that'd be killer. And in this world, we'll see. But that's all the way in December.
Yeah, that's 6 months away. That's plenty. I mean, look at what has happened since January.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you're like, oh, like Spider-Man's the big one for now. That's the one we're looking to, but like
this year,
Eternals could pop off.
I hope
and
it does.
be the first one. That would be nice. I got this feeling that it's going to be just a steady climb to get. I got a weird feeling.
Did we lose Thomas?
I think he froze.
No.
That's no good. But hey, look. To give you a quick note before Thomas comes back from his weird exile, David,
sure.
Eternals, I hope that cracks some good money, and I hope it breaks some records, because Eternals looks different than all the other MCU films that I've seen.
Yeah.
Granted, it's still in the same franchise, so like, oh, it's just another Marvel movie. Of course it's going to make money. Yes, but this is the Eternals. I know nothing about these people. Same. I know nothing about this property. I know nothing about these characters. That's what intrigues me.
Yeah.
I want to see these characters. I want to see what they're all about. Are they going to help save the world? Are they going to help decimate it? Is one of them going to go rogue and try to kill everybody in the timeline? I don't know, because I know nothing about the Eternals, but the trailer was very intriguing. Thomas, we lost you. I'm sorry, buddy. But,
yeah, we did.
Hey, guess what? I'm taking over for Thomas, everybody. There's the breaking news. That's what the news. Thomas is gone. Ryan, the quote, is in. Anyway, David, you're welcome.
Yes, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Eternals, brother. Heck of a lot more than I'm looking forward to Black Widow. No offense to ScarJo. ScarJo, we've all been a fan of yours for about 15 to 20 years. But Eternals is different. It's fresh. It's outside the box. And also, which we'll talk about later on, not to give anything away in what the news, David, but Shang-Chi looks different. It looks fresh.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see where that goes, too. But granted, Eternal Shang-Chi, I'm just looking forward to seeing something different from the MCU, not another, oh, great, Thor Part 4 is coming out. Great, so-and-so Part 6 is coming out. Dude, I don't really care much about sequels at this point. I want freshness.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love it all, but I totally agree with, especially I'm excited for Shang-Chi and Eternals a lot. For those reasons, like where it's something new, it's something fresh. I think the Shang-Chi, we're gonna get into it like in just a moment. The action looks new too, where it doesn't look like it doesn't look like normal MCU action. It's gonna add a whole new cultural element and just kind of regional element to the MCU that we have never seen before. And Eternals, yeah, the trailer for me really won me over. I kind of like pushed forward when I said Spider-Man, because that's the big kahuna waiting at the end of the year in December in that nice like Christmas slot, like that Star Wars
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thomas just gave us a reason why he's gone. What does it say? Oh my goodness. The power got by lightning? Oh boy. There's a storm near your area? Where is he, by the way? Is he in Florida?
Yeah, he's in Florida.
Oh, he is in Florida. Okay, well, you know what? Florida is not only known as the Sunshine State, it's also the state where freak lightning or thunderstorms can creep out of nowhere. So, hope you come back soon, buddy, because this is going to be really awkward if I have to carry David throughout the rest of this show.
Yeah. This might just be the David and Ryan show.
Oh my God! And I got another show I'm doing. I got another show I'm doing tonight that's being taped.
Oh, Thomas.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he back now?
Yeah, I think he might be back.
And the Dark Knight Rises.
What happened?
Okay. What happened to you, man?
So, at the very beginning of the show, which now all my comments are missing. Like now I don't have Twitch comments. That's not cool at all.
I mean, I can still see the comments here in our. Well, I'm in the HWWS feed, but still.
Yeah, I can only
because I'm in the StreamYard. For those of us who are looking for.
Yeah, David, can you put on the Twitch one from like Lieutenant Lucani at the very beginning of the show?
Yes.
It's right after "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen." Yeah, weather alert in Thor's area. Hopefully, he can keep the lightning away during the show. Wrongo.
Dude, I haven't heard that reference in a long time. Man, I love that.
All right, Thomas, we're ready for the Shang-Chi trailer whenever you are.
Sweet. Me too, man. I was born ready for this bloody trailer. Let me tell you what I love.
It's a good trailer as well.
So bad. All right, here we are. I'm going to hit play.
Trailers, yum. Nice. See, there's a commercial for you.
Yeah, so I will say, kind of just like sharing my thoughts on it, because hopefully YouTube won't kick us off this time as we play it on the show here. I thought, some people were saying the first trailer was better. Some people were saying this trailer was better. They've both been really good, but I like seeing more in this trailer of kind of his background and what the story is really going to be about. We get to see a bit more of like China or wherever they're going to be in this movie, which I think it honestly looks fantastic. Like this, like for as origin stories go, this is an origin story through and through. You can just tell by it. We're going to get his childhood, his adolescence, him up to this point, and then this movie's going to set up where he grows from here, right? Him and his father. I'm a sucker for the father-son relationship in these kinds of movies, especially when the father is the antagonist, right? And something I wanted to point out, the 10 rings, different than say in the comics, where like they had their own sort of like, I mean, I guess that's not true to say, but their abilities look like they're really gonna like kind of fantasize them and make them mystical and kind of MCU them a bit with like the colors and all and the way they use them. But I like how the 10 rings are not just kind of like a, I don't know, something you talk about, but it's actually something you like see and use and are practical.
Here it is. I hate to interrupt you, but we have a dragon in the MCU. Yes, Shang-Chi, this is exactly what I wanted. Give me a dragon. Dragon, rock the dragon ball. See.
And it's going to be the Great Protector.
There's
Abomination.
It has to be Abomination.
It looks
that is Abomination.
It has to be. Yeah.
And I'm going to be that guy who rewinds and makes references to the comics because
Abomination.
I didn't want you to play, mate.
You got this.
Oh, it's so good to see him.
The spines are just more. He
like
looks more
wings,
reptilian, if you will.
Yeah, I see it now.
He's slowly becoming a little bit more reptilian. He's got the. I call him I don't know what they're called, but it's always reminds me of that spitting cobra dinosaur from Jurassic Park. That like
the one that took out Dennis Nedry in the Jeep.
Yes, Dennis Nedry.
AKA my good friend Newman. Yeah.
And so he's got those going on, which he had in the comics, and specifically the comics. That's like his go-to look. Very cool to see that. While we're here, is this Wong?
Yeah, that's what everyone's assuming, or at least like that's what they figure who it is because it looks
same body type,
using magic.
He's got the sling ring. Sling ring. Yep, that's got to be Wong.
Which is a really cool tie-in, right? You know?
Yeah.
And also one thing I wanted to point out with that, Thomas, if that is truly Wong, that kind of puts to bed people saying that this happens during the blip because Wong got blipped away. Or no, he did.
He did? Yeah, he did, because he came out of the
portal.
Came out of the portal when Captain America gave us the 2 words we've been waiting for so long. And the theater lost their collective minds, as well as myself. I was there, you know.
These are accurate statements.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool seeing that, a big-time Hulk cameo or character in this Abomination, who people were wondering or thinking he's going to show up in the She-Hulk series, which could be a bit of a tee-up for that. People are now speculating. Another tie-in to Multiverse of Madness with Wong, which I think is a really cool way of doing it. Like, I want to know so bad, why are those two fighting? Like, what are the circumstances? What's going on? Like,
someone placed a bet. I don't know. It's a fight club.
Rule one.
That's right. We can't talk about it, Thomas.
We can't talk about it. Yeah.
But no, it looks great. Can't wait. It's during the fall season, so there's tons to look forward to towards the latter half of 2021. So don't get us wrong, folks. We'll be there.
All right.
Before we move, I'm glad Terry mentioned this in the comments. A very cool thing in the Shang-Chi comics, the 10 rings are actually rings worn by dragons, which is why they're big enough to go over a human arm in terms of the adaptation. So the Great Protector might have been the originator of those rings, and because it's a story trailer and everybody's looking at the plot, let me just give you what I think is going on. He has to be there's every 10 years something happens, which is why they make mention of the 10 years in the trailer. I don't remember where I heard some of this. I listen to a lot of podcasts, so it was on one of them. I will find it and share it to the world. So all that good stuff. He the dragon is the Great Protector of that island. The island is a special place. The gate only opens every 10 years. Shang-Chi is only one of the people who can actually open it. Perhaps the key goes there, I think, meets the Great Protector, then realizes, I have the power. Excuse me. I have the power. David, do you get that reference?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
you did? Did you get that reference?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I know it's coming out on Netflix. Granted, the original series was before my time, but I get what you're saying.
Same.
Good trailer for that series too.
Yeah. Anyways, back to this plot because
this trailer,
Tangent Town. I think that's like the way that it's gonna go, and so when he meets the dragon, I think the Great Protector gives him his chi or his energy, and so that's Yeah, whatever you want to call it. The Force. He gives him his life force.
The Force.
So when he's holding on to the rings later on, that's why you have the blue versus the gold.
Great look too. I love that.
Yeah, the visual effects look good, but then again, it's an MCU film; they always look good.
And this is why I don't watch trailers.
Yeah,
you want to go in cold, man. You don't want to know jack squat about the plot.
But I give zero craps that I watched this trailer because it's so good, and it's like, oh, this movie is going to be exactly what I was hoping it would be. Okay.
Well, Thomas, speaking of things that fans dissect too much and more than they should, people have now looked back. I think at first was noticed on Reddit that the final post-credits scene of WandaVision, which, spoilers for WandaVision, I'm just going to start, we're talking about this specific part, is there's a cabin, she's in it, and they've changed the way it looks a little bit. So, honestly, it is news, but I'm not really holding my breath as to like this being some big, huge like connection, but it might be. So they made the trees look a bit different. The color, like the tone of the color on this, just in the set, changed a little bit. And there's this, I don't know, Thomas, you have an image or something, but there's a little like moving out of focus thing in the corner that people are speculating could be Doctor Strange. And my speculation personally is that the reason they'd upgraded it is maybe just a design thing, but also that if they are revisiting this scene in Multiverse of Madness, that they're updating it to look exactly the way they're working it right now in Doctor Strange.
Yes, which I am now getting that up. Cool. Apologies for that delay. The file was not compatible with StreamYard. So.
You gotta love technology, folks.
Yeah.
Doesn't everyone here at LTA love technology? Not so much.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, the trees have changed a little bit. It's minor stuff except for up there in the left corner.
Hold on now. It's not that minor. It's an entire landscaping. You know how long it would take in real life? That's a major move to like change all the landscaping here. And because I'm that nerd guy today, they oddly enough filled in how many more trees there are on both sides. Put more in. I can't tell if they're more or less green on the way my screen looks right now. And they actually took a couple of gaps out, so it's like even more of a hidden cabin, which you mentioned the Doctor Strange connection. I think you're right on that. That's my thoughts as well.
Yeah.
And I think they did it this way so it's more secluded and less easy to spot from the water. Because it adds an extra little bit of a twist, when Doctor Strange shows up and she's like, "How did you find me?" And it's like, well, duh.
Yeah. Ryan, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I'm just happy to be here.
We're happy to have you, man.
Well, hold on. If you're for the visual audience, because you know that we're here now.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
I haven't seen one speck of WandaVision. I've seen nothing but the trailer for that series. I didn't watch it, so you can spoil it as much as you want. It's okay. I'm not going to get upset.
Okay, here we go. This is from
currently on Disney Plus, and the difference you'll spot is
TikTok
in
and
those
Brandon
this
Davis.
Is the same scene, but uploaded to YouTube on March 5th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice these trees are a lot greener this time. I don't know why they did it, but there's clearly a small difference in the trees added to the shot. And if you look really closely, this isn't a reflection. There's some sort of thing
that's a
coming
cape
down towards Wanda's cabin.
It's a cape,
but it kind of stays in the same place, so it might just be a mistake.
Such a weird addition.
Or it's official confirmed.
It is. It's a very weird addition.
They're just trying to give us something to chew on.
Hey, man. I mean, we found it. I don't know if we thought we'd find it, but we found it.
Go right ahead. Use that magnifying glass. Go all Inspector Gadget on and be like, all right, let's get in closer.
So
watch next week. It's gone.
No, and then they're just like, no, that's the Mandela effect, love.
They just
that was either that or the McClunky version.
McClunky. That's now canon, by the way. McClunky is genuine word. Yeah. You know who did it?
Man.
You want to know who did it? Dave Filoni.
Oh.
He threw it into an episode of Clone Wars, I think. Someone's like, McClunky. And they're like, everyone was like, did he just do it? Now
nice,
from
job, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah, you got to trust the 3 Fs: Filoni, Favreau, and Feige.
Yep.
So
that's a good point.
It is a good that comes from Captain Matt Rimke and Liam Crowley of the Direct Pod, friends of the show.
Nice.
We're talking about fun stuff now. It's time for a fucking bitch fest. Dune was delayed again. First off, in terms of the movie itself being delayed, cool, whatever, I don't care. But now there is literally no movie coming out on my birthday, on a day where movies actually get to come out for fucking once. I am so bitter. I thought about censoring myself, and then I said, no, they ruined my Friday birthday. I won't have another one until like 6 or 7 years or something. I don't remember the math breakdown. All I know is it's very rare to go to the theaters for an opening show on my birthday. That's all.
I'm sorry,
We
Thomas.
can move on.
I am sorry to hear that.
It is still in October. I will say spooky season is still alive.
There you go.
They moved it to 2 weeks after James Bond, which is fair. Now, if you'll excuse me, move James Bond up now. Thank you.
There's an outside chance they do that. I mean, it just be 1 week.
Then you have 3 weeks before Dune,
Mm-hmm.
which is very important.
I will say my 2 cents, because my birthday is not on October 1st, is that I think it's a smart move by Warner Bros.
I lose connection.
Oh, no. I hear you, Thomas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know if you went out or I went out or all the internet broke like last time, but we're back, everybody.
What else is new?
I was just going to say that I think it's a smart move by Warner Brothers. That'd be nice if No Time to Die moved up a week. I'm excited for both these movies, and it seems like October is really ramping up to be a good one, and I'm happy that they're not 1 week apart now, personally. Spread it out a little bit.
Same.
And now something I didn't write in the show notes that I had a thought on was, because we were discussing it in the direct Slack
backstage area.
Well, what I was going to say was Eternals, I believe, is November 3rd. So it's a little close to Eternals now, which isn't like a huge deal, but it's kind of like pick your poison a little bit with them. But I think it's it might be November 6th. So it's really not that close.
It's
a couple
right
weeks
there.
I remember hearing it being the 6th to the 11th, somewhere in there.
Like right in the middle.
I'm scrolling.
Eternals, we'll be there. It doesn't matter.
November
look at all these flavors we get, David. You get Dune, you get No Time to Die, you get Eternals. You got so many flavors. It's like being at Baskin Robbins. It's the best thing in the world.
I'm telling you, I love movies, man. So glad they're back in the theater. Can't wait. October's going to be a good one. The Oscar season this year, I think, is going to be awesome. Can't wait. Thomas, you had a time for you had a date for Eternals.
Pretty sure it's November 5th.
Oh, November 5th.
November 5th. That's it.
That's fine with me.
I just had to look at a calendar and I could remember.
It's after Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer, dude.
I actually bought
that would have been awesome to see those Eternals comics costumes. You bought Dune, you said?
Yeah, 1 second before I
Dune the book or Dune the original cut?
The book. I got
Let me pull this off the shelf. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's the book. The book. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. And you know what? This delay gives me a little extra time to make sure I read it beforehand.
You acting like you go read the book, Mister. I've had Master and Apprentice for 5 years.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Oh, it's a graphic novel?
Is it a graphic novel?
It is a graphic novel.
Okay, on second thought, send me the link to that because I'll buy that. Because I like graphic novels.
Yeah. Dune the graphic novel, book 1.
Oh, it's book 1, so that means there's like 50 trade paperbacks.
How much was that book 1 for the poor folks in the back? Yeah.
I think I got it from Target for maybe $18.
Ooh, it's at Target. I just made a Target run last week. Why didn't you text message me earlier? I could have gotten it last week.
I've had this for a while. I just
dang it, man.
on my desk.
Okay, well, you know what? They'll probably have it out again as we get closer to the film's actual release. So I can always go back to Target and use the red card, and I'll get it then.
Yeah. Sorry,
thanks,
guys.
Target. No, it's cool. Hey, man, I made a Target run last week, and I made out like a bandit. I got 3 Funko Pops from Seinfeld. It was great.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm excited to read the Dune book and then kind of really rev up for that movie. One thing I wanted to do, our final 2 bits of news here. Actually, 3.
Oh, yes. 3.
I was gonna
They
put
come. What are we
Because
gonna
3
do?
is better than 2.
I was thinking about putting 2 of the 2 together, but I think I'll just do all 3 individually then.
Yeah.
Split it up.
Are we ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Because I got them questions.
Oh, yeah.
Rogue Squadron hires writer. Is that all we got, David?
That is all we got. So right now, Matthew Robinson has been set to co-write, or no, not co-write, just to write the movie. He did co-write and co-direct the Ricky Gervais, with 2019 comedy, The Invention of Lying. He also wrote Dora, the new live-action Dora the Explorer movie. Fun fact. He is penning the script for Rogue Squadron. Jenkins is still set to direct. That's pretty much it. I don't really know this guy's work all that much. I never even saw Dora or The Invention of Lying, which sounds like a pretty good movie. But I'll be honest, man. I'm not super amped for this one, especially after Wonder Woman 1984. And the fact that I don't know. It's just not like I'm excited. I'll definitely be there day one because it's going to be the latest Star Wars movie.
For sure.
Just currently, there's no big names attached to it. We don't know when it's set. All we know is they're going to be flying around, right?
Top Gun in space.
See, that sounds awesome. I just want to see someone who's actually in it, like
there's time for that.
We got
just
plenty of time for casting announcements.
I'm ready for some casting announcements, I guess is where I'm at. Ryan, what do you think?
Look, I'm not familiar with this writer. His credentials make me a little bit skeptical because Dora and the Lost City of Gold. What? Granted, it is for kids, and this movie is probably going to be aimed at a younger audience. Who knows? I mean, if it's rated PG-13, which I'm hoping it is, if not rated R, I'd be down for that. Patty Jenkins, I'm looking at you. But anyway, yeah, look.
Rated R for Rogue.
I know, seriously. I mean, she directed the R-rated movie Monster with Charlize Theron that got her Oscars. So,
that's true.
That's a great film, by the way. Monster's a great film. But aside from that, Rogue Squadron, I'll be there day one. It's Top Gun in space. If they hire someone who looks like Maverick and they hire some dude who looks like Goose who gets killed off halfway through, fine with me. You want to bring in your own version of Iceman? Go right ahead. Either way, I'll be there because it's Top Gun in space. And if we get casting announcements, great. And if it's completely unknown number of people in this film, male, female actors, I'm fine with that too because not every film has to be headlined by an A, B, C, D, E, or F list actor or actress. I'm okay with new and up-and-coming stars that I'm not familiar with. So for this movie, it'd be a perfect opportunity to introduce new actors and introduce new characters into the Star Wars universe, which I've been begging for a long time. So I say bring it on. And Patty Jenkins, I wish you nothing but the best of luck because you killed it with Monster. Wonder Woman 1, you're okay. Wonder Woman 84, the jury's still out because I haven't seen it yet. I know I've heard reports, but I don't care. I'm going to watch the movie for myself and judge it on its own merits. But other than that, you killed it with Monster, Patty, so I have faith.
Thomas, what do you think?
I think that like I said, is that all we got? Okay, cool. So I'm going to dig into my backpack of ideas. Yeah, that's right. I snuck in a Dora reference. Shout out to the 90s kids, man. So what is one hope that everyone on this screen and on this podcast right now has for Rogue Squadron, David?
That it is set after Rise of the Skywalker.
Ooh, okay. Ryan.
Somewhat similar to that, but also I would say I need someone to look at another pilot. That I need two pilots to have a rivalry, and I want them to say, "I don't like you because you're dangerous." That's right. Nice, man. Okay. I am dangerous, and then do that jaw thing. I just want to see that. I just want two pilots to be at each other's throats and see who is the best to go out in space and lead this rogue squadron of pilots and say, "I don't like you because you're dangerous."
I can't wait for Top Gun Maverick.
If Patty Jenkins throws in an classic 80s line or an 80s reference, whatever, I will respect Patty Jenkins even more so than I do now. So that's what I want to see, Thomas. Does that fulfill your qualifications?
That was good. That was very specific, and you sold me on your movie just based off that interaction. I was like, yeah, I'd watch an entire movie of that and set in space. Just yeah, man. What do I want from this? I genuinely don't know. It's why I made you guys go first. I liked what you guys said really, really a lot. You know what I'm saying? Rogue Squadron, I do hope it's set after Rise of Skywalker. I want new ground.
New characters.
I do want to see. There's nothing like a good old fashioned rivalry. Terry McIver in the comments says space volleyball, and that is gold. So I'm gonna pick, because I don't know if it's even possible. Change up, hard pivot. I want Finn to be in Rogue Squadron, utilizing his force abilities to now be a pilot. Because he learned that ability, and because I don't have much more, and we need more John Boyega.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because my other ones for the other two are way more
Space
specific.
volleyball, Terry. I love you,
Space
man.
volleyball wins the day to me.
If I hear Playing with the Boys by my boy Kenny Loggins in this movie, I will definitely lose my ever-loving mind.
Done with an orchestra style? Yeah. Today, now we're going to segue aggressively to Kenobi! That was terrible. I'm so sorry to myself and all of you for that terrible Kenobi! Fights Inquisitor. Will we see more lightsabers?
Yeah, it seems like we will. So this comes from Making Star Wars, which is a website, and their editor-in-chief, Jason Ward, reported that, here's what he wrote. In this series, Obi-Wan will fight at least one Inquisitor. Lightsabers will clash, and we will see Kenobi up against the Inquisitoress, okay, in at least an episode of the limited series. Will this vein run throughout many episodes or just occur in a single story, he asks. That I do not know for certain at this time, and would be conjecture on the part of to say any further. But take it from me, empirically, the Imperial Inquisition.
Where is... I don't see this in the...
Take a deep breath, David. Take it one word at a time.
Okay, so... Inquisition.
This guy's loving playing with these words.
Which was a former game show on Game Show Network that I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. Thanks, GSN.
Really?
Does anyone remember that game show?
I remember the network.
Oh, it was on GSN. It was so good. It was this guy who just sat in a chair, but you never see his face. You see the back of his head, and he's got 4 people competing to win the most points. It's so weird. It was held in the back of a warehouse somewhere. It's really cool. Look it up on YouTube, man. Full episodes are on YouTube. Check it out.
We'll have to do it. So yeah. Anyway, guys. I honestly, this is not a surprise to me. The way this series looks like it's shaping up, like in that, in between episodes 3 and 4, this is kind of what's going on. Thomas, you'll be happy to know I picked up Fallen Order again. I started replaying that. Yeah, and I haven't beaten it yet, but I started my playing through finally again. And the Inquisitors are in that. Here's the thing, right?
They are. You know where else they are, David? Do you want to know? Do you really want to know?
No, I don't.
Rebels.
Anywho, I'm really excited for this series. I'll bring on the lightsaber fights. This is my most anticipated Star Wars project currently. So I can't wait. Ryan, any thoughts on this report?
I would just say I wish him the best of luck. I'm not 100% sold on this series because I still don't understand. It's like we've seen Kenobi in how many movies already? Why does he need his own series? I mean, he was really only on Tatooine for 19 years watching the kid grow up. He's got a strange old hermit. But then again, he fought Darth Maul in the desert in the middle of the night, so that was shocking. So if they want to do something else, okay. But for me personally, I'm not really sold on this series yet. I need to see a trailer. I need to see a bit more of a synopsis. Like, give me a reason why this should exist, Disney. Give me a reason why I should tune in. Because right now, I got 2 or 3 other Star Wars projects that I would much rather see than Kenobi. But then again, let's wait and see the trailer, and then I will make up my mind a little bit more than I am now. But if you're going to fight an Inquisitor, try to bring back Sarah Michelle Gellar, if possible. You know, because she was kind of cool in the Rebels series. I don't know if I'm not sure she ended up dead or not in Rebels, but if she's still alive and SMG is willing to come out of acting retirement to be in a live-action series, SMG, would you please come forward? Please. We'd like to see you again. We miss you. But anyway, yeah, not completely sold on General Kenobi, but we shall see. There's your impression, Thomas.
That was good. I can't pull off Grievous at all.
It's okay. You're welcome. I'll be here all week.
Fucking A. All
Thomas,
right,
what do you think?
here's my thing. Ryan was like, I'm not sold. Ryan, let me just tell you here and now, they're bringing back Hayden Christensen to play Darth Vader, and they're supposed to fight. Vader, Kenobi, good lightsaber battle. I'm here for it.
I don't know. I
In
really
fact,
Me too.
I was gonna
in
say
fact-
I like the fan edit version of the New Hope sequence that someone did when Obi-Wan was fighting Darth Vader on the Death Star and how it really should have gone down. That I would much rather watch than this with Hayden Christensen, which Hayden, no. But Ewan McGregor, yeah, you're cool. Hayden, not so much. But it wasn't completely his fault. He had bad writers. Writers, producers, whatever. It's all the same. But yeah, bad writers.
But also,
so,
he's Darth Vader, so that's totally
True.
different game now.
We'll see how it goes.
True.
There might be flashbacks.
yeah.
See, let's dive into what we hope we have, because we know, according, if we're to trust the producers, that they will fight and have a rematch of the century, as they've called it. What do we hope? One thing I really want to start.
Yes, go for it.
Clone Wars flashback. Give me young Ahsoka. Thank you.
Whoa, that'd be really cool.
Thank you for coming to my Thor talk.
That's a good point.
That's all I want.
I hope the story. I hope we get young Luke. I hope we see Hayden not just physically in the Vader suit. I hope there maybe is a Clone Wars flashback, and I hope that
I hope we see him scarred.
The fact of the matter is, that'd be really cool. The fact of the matter is, they have to now. They're kind of revamping the lore and the canon with the line from A New Hope being like, last time, you were the master. And
yeah, that makes me a bit angry.
Now we know that there's going to be a time in between that they're actually talking about in that scene. And this is going to be that time, right? So we know Obi-Wan is going to win again, presumably. Or it's it's a Force Awakens. The Earth literally like splits in between them and they can't continue fighting. Something along those lines. But they need to set that up in a good way where it still makes a lot of sense in A New Hope. I'm super excited to see that. Like I said, it's my most anticipated series or just project for Star Wars right now, just because I love Ewan McGregor as a character. I'm excited to see Hayden Christensen back after so many years. I think this is really like, there's a lot of other series that I'm not as invested in. This one, I feel like I'm just automatically invested in. I'm into it immediately. Limited series, sign me up. It was supposed to be a movie at first. Turns into this Disney Plus series, probably gonna be like 6 episodes. I think it's gonna be awesome. Ryan, what do you want to see out of it?
Kind of took all my thoughts. Thanks a lot, David. You cheated. No, I'm kidding. No. Here's the thing. I may not be sold on this series. I gotta wait for a trailer, but I will say I just pray and I hope and pray. Excuse me. I really don't want the original trilogy to be retconned. Don't mess with A New Hope. Don't do that. Please don't. Because that movie, I've appreciated that film more and more over the years as I've gotten older. I'm a little wiser. So don't retcon New Hope. That's my biggest fear with this series. If they're going to retcon a couple things from New Hope, that's going to kind of ruin the majesty, the spectacularity, if you will, of the OG trilogy. So that's my biggest fear. But if I want to see anything in this series, just give me a trailer first. I really can't say anything else. Like, you really need to sell this to me. Like, give me an actual reason why I should actually watch this. Like, because right now I'm not sold.
Right.
I do want to say it's important to note the exact line from A New Hope is, when we last met, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Yeah.
You're only a master of evil, Darth. Based on that one line alone, they could have met 10 years ago. I'm wondering if it has something like that line has something to do with something that we'll learn about in the series, as what is it? Vader is learning something, and so he's fresh in it, but Obi-Wan mastered it long ago. Is it to become a Force ghost? Because obviously Anakin / Vader had to learn that somehow. Because he just does it at the end, right? But the only other people we've seen do it so far before Rise of Skywalker and all that would have been Obi-Wan and Yoda. And then Anakin shows up as an old man. And now as young Hayden, because that's when Anakin officially died, was at that moment. So it's like, okay, I see how they're finessing things. Damn it, I have 2 things I hope for. Now I hope that they do that. Whatever it was. I really hope I hope he's meditating and Qui-Gon's like, idiot. But when we're talking about Master of the Dark Side, The Acolyte is set to start filming February 22nd. I believe there's more, right, David?
Yeah, that's pretty much the news. It's going to start in February in London. They're going to be utilizing the volume, it seems like, which is currently now being used. Right now, it's being used for Ant-Man, I believe, which is like Ant-Man 3. Peyton Reed, who has connections to Star Wars, obviously. He's used it before, I believe, with The Mandalorian. Quickly, I think something we haven't discussed is that they're looking for a young woman of color as the lead in the series. Good or bad, gray or clear, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to like the Force, because this movie is The Acolyte has been described as a female-driven action mystery thriller with martial art elements that will take us into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic. I cannot wait for this one. This is probably my number 2 project for Star Wars, honestly. And before you ask me, Thomas, when I'm looking forward to this one, give me some young Yoda. I want to see him in this, and maybe some young Darth Sidious.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Thomas.
When 900 years you reach, look as good. You will not. All right. We're gonna see him long before he turns the big 90000 years old. Sorry, I added a few more zeros in there for you, Yoda, because you deserve the paycheck. Interesting.
You haven't read any of the High Republic, have you, David?
I have not, but obviously I know Yoda's in it or whatever.
I've got the first 2 books that I got from Target months ago. I just haven't read them yet, Thomas. Some of us have been busy around here, okay? But I'm going to get to them.
I do audiobooks and I do it driving to gigs, so.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like, to be fair, I am cheating a lot, kinda. But hey, it's okay. I've gotten through 17 audiobooks.
That's awesome.
I'm so deep. And tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, phase 2 of the High Republic starts. And it's important to note the phases, David, because at the end, they do have an official timeline. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Yeah. And it's, the start of the inciting incident and then like the fall of the Jedi, blah, 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 essentially, or it leads to that. 50 years before Phantom Menace is the end of the High Republic. So we are actually in the lifetime of Sidious, is possibly a young Sidious, but more importantly, Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Sold.
I hope that we get Darth Plagueis looking and searching for his next apprentice. Or perhaps the female lead is his apprentice and is searching for her own apprentice, but can't beat young child Sheevy. Very specific.
Ooh. Yeah.
But I want to see a child electrocute an adult with force lightning. Just saying. like the way that it randomly came out of Rey unexpectedly.
Yeah.
To see that manifest, and then Plagueis is just like, well, moons don't really smile that well, but he'd just be like, and then boom. Ryan, what do you want to see for this amazing Acolyte show?
Everything you just said, Thomas. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. But aside from that, I honestly, just based on the description, I'm just looking forward to seeing the series in general. I don't really have any hopes and dreams for this thing because I just want to see new characters, different timelines, stuff that was going down with the Force long before any of the other stuff went down. So, and by the way, casting a woman of color or whoever it's going to be in the lead role, respectively, great, fabulous. Hire anybody. Yeah. I don't care if it's someone we've seen for 5 or 10 years, or if it's a brand new up and coming actress who is going to get her shot at stardom and become the next big thing like Brock Lesnar was 15 years ago. Not so much now, but 15 years ago when Brock Lesnar was the next big thing. Now I want to see this new up and coming actress be the next big thing. I say yes. I say shut up and take my money, even though they already have it. But yes, the Acolyte, Thomas, I will be there front row center to see this series come to light.
Hell yeah. I couldn't not do Kite Man. You know what I'm saying? It just was sitting there waiting to be kited. Ladies and gentlemen, that has brought the end of the news. We're going to take a very brief ad break. We got bills to pay, man. And we'll come back with our top 3 films of 2021 so far.
Welcome, Glasscock Park, to this glorious day.
Today is your lucky day. We got some great stuff. This is Glasscock Park.
Marvelous.
Thank you.
Come on, let's go, let's go. I don't have all day, people.
Now, it's time.
Tell your friends, huh?
Hello, I'm Thor, son of Dale, here to tell you about the Life of Thor Productions official shop. The only place where you can get your official merchandise for the LightsThunderAction podcast and Life of Thor's Thor Watches series. Whether you want t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, mugs, and masks, Life of Thor Productions official shop has you covered. If you happen to recognize there's an item that you would like to buy that is not in the official shop, head over to the LightsThunderAction podcast or Life of Thor and request that item, because if you want it, we'll sell it. Just head to lotproductions.threadless.com/collections to get the item that calls out to you via the Force. Again, that is lotproductions.threadless.com/collections. Thank you, and have a Thortastic day.
And we are back. David, this was, I believe, your idea? Yes?
It was my idea.
You have the show.
Thank you. Yeah, so guys, we are about halfway through the year. A lot of movies have been coming out this year in theaters and on streaming. So today, quickly, the short list, we're going to talk about our top 3 movies of 2021 so far. I have mine in a particular order because that's how I normally like to do my lists and rankings and stuff. So here we go. Number 1 for me is A Quiet Place Part 2, a movie that I really enjoyed. I am not by any means a fan of the horror genre at all. I watched the first one. I liked it. I didn't see the first one in theaters, but I liked it enough. I think I was itching to go back to the theater so much personally that I just really want to go see it in a theater. I did opening night. It was a great time. Krasinski is a great director in my opinion. In that movie, this is a non-spoiler kind of run through here. The fact that there's a part specifically where I was like, wow, this is great. Where there's 3, action beats happening at the same time that then have to kind of meet in the middle in a certain way. And honestly, you're just emotionally invested in each part. Oh, it's really great storytelling and a really well written and directed movie that I think's a superior sequel to the original, which is rare nowadays. It's really a great movie. I'd highly recommend that one, even if you're not into horror that much, because I'm not at all. But I think just the gimmick of it, we get more background in the movie. I really enjoyed that one. It's my favorite movie so far this year. Number 2 is F9. No regrets, man. Just sit back, relax, turn off your brain, enjoy the film. Especially if you're a fan of the franchise, this one won't disappoint, I don't think. It's goofy, it's funny, it's outlandish, it's ridiculous. It's really just such a fun time, especially in the theater when I saw it. It was just a fun crowd. We were all having a good time. And go check out the review on our podcast feed for it. You can hear a lot more of my thoughts there with my friend Kevin. Number 3.
LTA list.
Love that. My third one is Cruella, Emma Stone's Cruella, which just beat out Godzilla vs. Kong for me. I think Cruella was a better movie overall. It's a bit long, but I love the performances. I love what they set up as in terms of a Cruella 2 and possibly 3. It's a really great origin story, and I love origin stories. And they do a really great job setting it up. Tremendous acting. Loved all the little characters, her friends. Oh my goodness. Who's Emma Thompson is also in it, and she's amazing. So I really think it's the 3rd best movie I've seen this year. Simple as that. And that's one you can check out right now on Disney Plus as well on Premier Access. It's just a really fun movie and a great origin story for me. I think it's maybe my favorite Disney live action remake. just because of its originality. You know, it's kind of like how the MCU uses comic books. They see the source material and they take that and do what they want with it. Unlike, say, Lion King or Aladdin, where they mostly just try to stick to it and they change this and that here and there. It's almost, you might as well just make your own story, though, because then you just feel like it's a whole, you know, it's a new name, Cruella. There's been no movie named Cruella before. It's been 101 Dalmatians. It's a whole new story. And yeah, I really enjoyed that one. All right, that's my list. A Quiet Place 2, F9, and Cruella. So far in the top 3. We'll see by the end of the year where these end up on my list. Ryan, let's jump to you, our esteemed guest. What are your top 3 movies so far of 2021?
Well, real quick, just out of curiosity, was A Quiet Place Part 2 the one they fought hard and said, no, we're not going to put it on HBO Max because it deserves to be seen in theaters, so I can't access it on HBO Max?
No, I believe it's a Paramount movie.
It's Paramount. I thought it was Warner Brothers. My bad.
Dune was a big one, and I think Dune actually is still going to come out on HBO Max as well. But yeah, it's So actually, Ryan, speaking of which, A Quiet Place. So the theatrical window is only 45 days, so it'll be on Paramount Plus fairly soon. But it's a good movie. I'd check it out if you have the streaming service for sure.
Oh, cool. I was just wondering. I almost thought it was Warner Brothers. Now it's Paramount. But anyway, to answer your $2 billion question, because that's a lot of money and I want to earn it. So the top 3 movies that I've enjoyed so far this year here in the year of our Lord 2021. The first one, I know people are going to throw me under the bus for this. That's fine, because after seeing these 3 movies, I had to think about it for a bit and decide where I wanted to put them respectfully, and this is where I put them. So number 1 is actually the reboot of Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's right. Mortal Kombat's at number 1.
Nice.
Yeah, I liked it because, as we all know, 90s kids rock, and growing up with the original 95 film as well as the sequel, I know people throw a sequel under a bus. I get it, but I still have a bit of a special place in my heart for the second one, even though I know it's not as good as the first one. Clearly it's not. But rebooting this thing, I was very curious to see how it goes. You got James Wan producing it. The cast was good. You got some familiar faces from television in there in this movie. You know, I can't remember. Makad Brooks from Supergirl was Jax in this movie, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was a fun movie. And then number 2 is actually something you brought up a little bit earlier, David, Cruella.
Yep.
Now, I don't remember going out on the street and seeing man, woman, and child saying, we need a Cruella origin story. No, we don't, because no one was asking for it. It never should have been made in the first place. But Emma Stone cannot be underestimated because she is one of the most talented actresses in the world today. So she played the role to the hilt. She killed it. It was really good. Do I think it's great? Not so much. But it's good. I gave it a good rating. I gave it a positive review, even though I still think, this movie never should have been made. And plus, they tweaked with a couple of things. I mean, granted, it's its own story, so it's like an Elseworld story. It's like, well, what if Cruella became the person that she is today because of these incidents? I'm like, okay, I can take that. And then number 3 is actually Godzilla vs. Kong, because I was so looking forward to the 2 biggest behemoths in cinematic history laying the smackdown on each other's candy ass in the middle of a city. And unfortunately, the human story was so terrible and bogged this movie down a little bit too much for my personal taste. And I thought, oh my goodness, when we get to your fights, they're okay, but the human story is just, it's nowhere near as good as it was in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and as well as Kong, Skull Island. Those 2 films were better to me to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Than Godzilla vs. Kong. But Godzilla vs. Kong had its fair share of good moments with the fight scenes, and especially when Kong is holding a Thor-looking axe and trying to chomp in half. I'm sure that made Thomas cry tears of joy when he saw his hammer 50,000 times bigger than what he's used to having in his possession, going after Gurjana. So that was fun. But other than that, bad human story. And then when you get Coach Eric Taylor, the greatest television football coach of all time, in a 5-minute scene, how dare you, Hollywood? How dare you put Eric Taylor, the man who taught us that clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose, in 5 minutes of this movie just to talk to his daughter and be on the phone. Honey, are you okay? Are you okay? What's going on? You're Eric Taylor, dude. You deserve more than this. You deserve so much more than this. So that kind of angered me, WB executives. But hey, I had a bit of fun with it. Had some good scenes. They tried a little too hard with the comedy, but it's some decent fight scenes, especially at the end when they were fighting Mechagodzilla in the, what was it called? The handicap match? and then you got a deciding winner. Unfortunately, I thought my boy Kong was going to win, but hey, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers, right, David? But it had its moments. And if they ever make a new one, which I heard that there is going to be a Godzilla vs. Kong 2, if you do make a sequel, give us more fights, less focus on the humans. That's all I'm going to say.
Team Lizard. Okay.
Yeah, well, I was Team Kong going into the film, okay? I was Team Kong, and he got his ass kicked, unfortunately. I was rooting for Kong, David. I was rooting for Kong.
Me too, man.
He got beat.
It was very unfortunate.
He got beat like twice, too. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. I was happy that the story was mostly about him. I loved focusing on Kong.
Oh, yeah, the origin stories of his race. Oh, that was great.
Really cool.
I did. See, that's what I loved about the movie. And we don't get that without half of the human plot, which was my favorite half of the human plot, which was like, we're going to the center of the earth because that's where the Titans come from. I was like,
really?
Fuck yeah, I want to see that. Just show me what that's like. Show me where the Titans were born, because that is the future. And I was like, they're setting up the future, but doing it right here in the now for the story that's present. And I was like, that's what I like. Human story overall, meh.
Dude, the comedy was bad.
The writing for the human characters, meh. The best human character was the one who couldn't really speak. So think about that. Think about that. And that's not anything on her. That's how bad the audible writing is and how good her acting is, because sometimes you can't sometimes bad writing can't be fixed. Sometimes it's got to be the right thing. But all of these actors, pretty sure let's think about this. They're not in the movie that much, really, right?
They got a good paycheck.
So each one got a nice paycheck for not a lot of work. So now they can fund their passion projects a little easier. And that is what Hollywood should be more about.
Yeah, sure. At least they made a killing off the Funko Pops they made off of that movie. Woo, good Funko Pops, guys.
I'm gonna go. I think I'll go 1, 2, 3 as well, because the first two of mine have been talked about.
Yeah.
Number 1, Cruella. The soundtrack is an absolute
loved it.
Just banger through and through. That's what made me love the movie. The storytelling was good, the visuals were great, but I wasn't really hooked because I'm a costume. I do my own costumes, right? But I do more armor. I can sew, but I'm not into I could not do what she does. That's awesome stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I can sew. That's kind of my connection. But the soundtrack kicked in, and I was like, these are the best scenes in this entire movie. Let's get more sewing set to the classic rock, because that's basically my life when I'm sewing, is I'm listening to Star Wars shows while listening to copious amounts of rock music. So I'm like, more of this, please. The sequel, let's go. And very important point. This is going to be a tease for my promotion, my suggestion for everyone to watch if you're of age, ladies and gentlemen. It's not porn. I'll save that just because it's not a porn related thing, guys. It's a mature related thing. The actor who plays the lawyer, what's the main character's? Roger. Thank you. I always forget his name.
Who goes on to be the Roger we know from the
exactly. That actor is in one of my favorite shows, What We Do in the Shadows, as Nandor. And it is probably my favorite character on the show, and I'm going to be cosplaying him at MegaCon.
Oh, MegaCon should be fun for all.
MegaCon will be so much fun. I'm coming for you, mad scientist. I'm coming for you. I'm going to cook some good food too. I'll probably lose, but we'll all eat good. So who the hell cares?
Sounds like a good show coming up.
It's gonna be wild. My number 2 is Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm gonna be really honest. My list is very small on movies that came out this year that I've watched, because I genuinely don't remember. I remember Godzilla vs. Kong. A lot of the other ones were psychological thrillers that I was just not in the mood for, or horror movies. So I was meh. I've still not seen Mortal Kombat. I've not seen F9 or Quiet Place 2. But I did watch Luca, and I
forgot about Luca on my list.
I absolutely love Luca. I love Luca so much. I just had my roommate toss me this, that I went to McDonald's after a networking event last week. On Thursday, we had our podcast in the afternoon. I left, went to Pensacola for a networking event. On my way back, I stopped at a store because I was like, I gotta pee. They had a McDonald's attached. I walked in there, looked down, and I was like, oh, Luca toys.
Yeah.
All I wanted was my favorite character, Machiavelli the cat. Important note about Cruella, I didn't mention my favorite character, Wink the dog. Just love that dog so much. And I love this cat so much that I was like, all I want is that toy because it's Ron Swanson as a fucking cat, ladies and gentlemen. And I was like, I'm going to get a Happy Meal and I'm not going to request it. I'm going to see what happens. And they gave me that cat. And he squirts water, so I can really piss off actual cats with a cat. Luca, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about it briefly. The first half is a little bit on the slow side. It's not even slow. There's a lot going on in the first half. That's a lot of exposition and slow building.
Yeah, builds up.
That you need. But the minute you get to that point where it starts to go overboard, then it's a fun, fast-paced thrill ride, for a kids movie. And it's directly aimed at kids. Very important to note. It is a kids movie. The humor is very simple, slapstick, juvenile version, which is why I love the movie so much. Obviously, guys, come on, look at me. But the payoff, the emotional payoff at the end, is exactly what you hope for from any movie, really. And I feel it outweighed its flaws. My honorable mention, really quick. It's not new, but I saw it recently for the first time with my pops. Ken, produced by Michael B. Jordan. It's a good one. I would recommend that. That is a movie I would recommend for sure.
This is going to sound sad and pathetic, but did the director's cut of JL come out this year? Justice League, Zack Snyder's cut.
Yeah,
it did.
I forgot about that.
I did forget about that.
So,
that was wasn't top 3 for me.
Yeah,
that's a whole separate category.
Yeah, that's a whole. Respectfully, it's a whole other category. But I will say, I did see that movie. That would be at the bottom of my list right now, just because the first half of the movie was a lot of slow mo, and I'm like, Zach, stop it, stop it. Way too much slow mo. Get to the story. Get to the point. And then eventually he did. And then when he did, oh boy, did he ever with the action scenes. But other than that, Zack Snyder's cut of JL, that would be the bottom part of the list. But that's only because I've only seen 4 films in 2021. Sorry, America.
Yeah,
I got work to do.
I forgot about Justice League. I forgot I just watched Luca, but I think I'm still sticking with my personal list.
Yeah,
but those are honorable mentions.
I'm with you.
Those would be good honorable mentions for you because I could tell how much more hype about F9 and Quiet Place 2 you were versus the other two. You were like, Luca is good, can confirm, and I was like, all right. Clearly, you weren't blown away.
I enjoyed the. I mean, I was teary-eyed at the end of Luca, so it really did affect me, and I think it's a very fun Pixar movie. But yeah, Justice League. I almost forget that because to me that's like, I guess it counts. It's just such a new thing. Where
it's a miniseries.
Yeah, it's just a cut of the same movie.
It doesn't even feel like a movie to me because I watched it over like 8 sittings.
Oh my god!
Like which was actually the best way to watch it in my opinion because I didn't,
okay.
I never felt slow. It was like, oh, I'm done. I'll get back to it in a few hours. Boom, watch a little bit, get back in a few hours, and I actually really enjoyed the Snyder Cut, but as a movie, not sure it cracks my top 3. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Agreed.
Those are all of our top 3 lists, and
great
trust
list.
me, by the second half of the 2020, there's a lot more movies to come out, and I'm sure our list will be looking a lot different, especially the top 3. I'm sure by then.
Oh yeah,
I'm very ready for A Quiet Place 2 to get out of that top spot. But hey, I really did love it.
No time to die.
Anything from the comments? Anything Terry's saying out here?
Boy, Terry's being so supportive, and that's why we care about him so much.
Always, man. He first off, it's not something you'd learn from the dogmatic view of the Jedi. Had to. He said the Snyder Cut didn't even make his top 10 of this year. He's fairly sure he's only seen 2 new movies this year.
Dude, I've seen 3, and that still wouldn't crack probably my top 5, not my top 10, because there's still too much of the year left.
So Terry says, I can't remember the name of the movie, the one with Malcolm X and the meeting in the room. That is that not Judas and the Black Messiah?
Is that what that is? Because that's what that sounds like.
I do believe that is the name. I've not seen that.
I'd be curious to see that.
I've only watched like 4 movies this year that are new.
I've seen 4 movies myself.
The rest are all comfort films.
Yeah.
Like Lion King.
I think I'm forgetting some.
I'm definitely forgetting.
If I had my notebook here for you, David, I would list off all the movies I've seen in 2021 that are like not the new stuff, like stuff I've caught up on.
Yeah.
Most respectively, because I tape a lot of stuff on what is known as a DVR. Some people still use that.
I'm jealous. I'm so jealous you still have a DVR, bro.
Dude, it works like a charm. You know what movie I just saw the other day? I saw In the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood and John Malkovich. That is a good film. It is. I'm dead serious. It came out in '93, and it's a really good film. And plus, it's Eastwood.
Yeah.
One movie I saw that I skipped over because it's a movie, but it's not a standalone movie. Is the Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train, which is an anime movie. It's like there's a season 1 of the show based on the manga, and then this takes place after that season, and they're going to continue on after this with like another season. So it's a cool, like, it's a movie, but you have to kind of have seen the anime to really like understand fully what's happening. But I loved that, and I probably like that more personally than like Cruella, but I didn't have it on this list just because, not everyone can just walk into that theater and have the same effect as if you had, seen the anime or read the manga. So that's another quick honorable mention shout out I want to put out there. I've seen twice in theaters and enjoyed both times.
Honorable mention. I guess I could throw this one out because I just saw this for the first time a week ago. I, Tonya with Margot Robbie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How is that? I never saw
it. Here's the thing. It's good in terms of its acting and its story, but at the same time, I think to myself, you know how most 99.99% of movies need to have an antagonist and a protagonist? I felt like everyone in this movie was an antagonist. There was really no one to really root for, including Tonya Harding. Yes, Tonya Harding has done some, maybe not so good things in her life, but at the same time, I want to feel sorry for her, and there's a little part of me that does feel sorry for her during the course of this movie, but at the end of the movie, it's like, I don't know if I feel sorry for you anymore, because, I don't know, it's just weird. Plus, the movie's meta, because during certain scenes, the character will turn to the camera and say, it wasn't my fault, you know what I mean? Like, they'll break the fourth wall.
Oh, okay.
And that's fine. It worked for me in this movie a lot better than it did in that movie about, what was it, Wall Street, The Big Short. So, yeah, or the housing crisis, excuse me. Yes. So The Big Short didn't work for me in that. In this, when they were going men and breaking the fourth wall, for me, I was all right with it because they're great actors, there's no question. But there was really no one to root for. I felt kind of weird at the end of the movie. I'm thinking to myself, is there anyone really to like in this movie? Because I feel like there's nobody to like, especially Tonya Harding's mother, played by Allison Janney. Woo! She is a nasty, nasty human being who deserves a slug in the face. She never got in the movie, spoiler alert. But I wish someone would have laid the smackdown on her because, man, did she abuse her daughter or what, man? That was messed up. But great actors, though. And Margot Robbie, your talent. Great talent, no question.
Yeah. All right, Thomas, what do you got for me?
Well, it's that time in the show where we promote social media. So, David, where can everyone find you on social media?
Yes, you guys can find me at my name, David Thompson, on Facebook, at David J. Thompson on TikTok and Instagram. And then go follow me, guys, on Twitter. It's where I am most active, talking about all this good, fun film and nerdy discussion. At David Thompson on Twitter. That is 2 A's in the David. Thomas, what about you?
You can find all of my links at Linktr.com/TCRochesterACT. That is TCRochesterACT. That'll get you links to my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I'm getting more interactive on the Twitter now, probably more than everything else because it's very, quick bite to Reddit. It's kind of nice. I'll be on the TikTok more as well. All of those links, including my website, links to the LightsThunderAction show, can be found again at my Linktree link, whatever that word is I was thinking of. Ryan, what about you? Where can everyone find you and all of the things that you do?
Yes, sir. First of all, thanks for having me. This was great. This was a lot of fun. I actually dressed up for this occasion. I wore my HWWSWebTV suit to represent this show and all the other shows that are on HWWSWebTV. So I am suited up, and I'm styling and profiling, as a famous pro wrestler once said. Actually, he said that many a times. Who we kidding here, Thomas? You know what I'm talking about. So
styling and profiling.
Exactly, David. You've probably heard some wrestling references in your day, but aside from that, you can find me and everything that we're doing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at It's Nerd Culture. New videos are being posted on our YouTube channel each and every week. We just surpassed 600 plus subscribers, so we want to thank everyone who has supported us, liked, commented, shared. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for the golf clap.
Yes, hold on. There it is.
I love it. Thank you, special effects, sound effects in the backstage area. We love you. So thank you so much. I love the applause. So anyway, you love me. You really love me. So
yes.
I lost it. Yes. You can find me there. Check out my podcast. The Nerdcast is on Anchor, Google, Spotify, wherever you download podcasts. You can find it there. I talk about some of the latest movies I've had a chance to see, and I just surpassed over 100 episodes of that on my podcast. So that's kind of cool and dandy to have. So there you go. There. Thank you, David, for the golf clap, as well as the people in the non-existent audience. So you can find me there, and I'm just here to have fun. I'm here to nerd out, geek out. I have my live weekly show called And I Quote every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I have a special guest every week. There won't be a show this week because it's Independence Day weekend. So we're taking the week off, but then the following week I will have a brand new episode live on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, simply at It's Nerd Culture, and on YouTube. Once again, that's And I Quote with Ryan. New guests come in each and every week from any and all corners of the nerd universe. We just have a discussion, find out what they have planned for the future. And other than that, everything's perfectly fine. We're all fine here. No, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad you asked how we're doing, because we're freaking out for Loki. I don't know why I did my own sound effects, but why not? This Thursday, the day after Loki's Day, in case you're wondering about branding here, July 1st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have, I think for the first time ever, on a podcast, on an actual normal version of our show. It's technically still a special episode, but we'll have two guests, Leah and Beth Ann from She Will Rock You podcast. Those rockin' ladies will be joining us to talk all things Loki. They're huge nerds. They're also Star Wars fans. Maybe I'll have backup on Rebels. Maybe I won't. We'll find out on Thursday. Then coming up next week at a time and date to be determined, because Black Widow comes out that same week.
Busy week.
Busy week. So excited. Loki 5 will be joined by Kleinfeld of The Direct. And then the following week, July 15th, at a time to be determined, Loki episode 6 finale with Liam Crowley, whom you saw here on Tuesday. He joined us. We had a 3-hour news show, so shocking.
That was fun.
That's as long as the Lord of the Rings theatrical cuts were.
Yes, which is why I'm not a fan of the Lord of the Rings. I didn't actually cuss there, but I'm super glad I hit the button. David, any recommendations for the audience that you would like them to check out?
If you haven't already, like we talked about it earlier, Luca, the brand new Pixar movie on Disney Plus, I'd go check it out. Me and my family watched it last week. It's a great time. I mean, we talked about earlier, the beginning's a little slow. They build up a bit, but by the end, it's a heartfelt, heartwarming movie. It really has a good message to it. So it's another Pixar movie where it's not just for kids, right? And I would definitely go check out F9 if you want to go out to the theater and have a jolly good time.
Righto. So as I mentioned earlier, What We Do in the Shadows, I'm going to recommend both versions. So I'm getting a double in here. What We Do in the Shadows from 2015 is a movie written by Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi. So if you're already thinking, oh, that sounds bonkers. Yep. It's about 4 vampires huddled together living in a flat in New Zealand, which will make a Korg joke from Ragnarok all the more sense after you've seen the movie. Then they made a show, and the show is fucking amazing. I can't oversell this show enough. If you're weird, if you think that I'm funny, go watch this show. This show is funny. I'm just insane on days that end in I went to work at 6 a.m. So every day. But where are we at now? Oh, we're here. Brian, we finally were able to get you on. Thank you so much for joining us, man. It's been, like I said, like 6 months since we've actually talked, not in like messaging systems.
Yeah, because we all get crowded with messages in that general chat. But you know what? It was great to be here. It's great to see you two fine gentlemen. You guys are kicking tail, taking names, doing what you do best, and that is electrify the millions and millions of viewers and listeners out there. So congrats. My hats are off to you. And if you ever want me on here again, just give me a call. I'll be here.
Oh, we're going to put out the spider signal for sure.
The spider signal. I hope you were going to say bat signal because Tim Burton's Batman just turned 32 years of age last week.
Yeah.
But hey, man, look, Thomas, you are my number one guy. So, Thomas, do me a favor. Don't forget your lucky deck.
I won't. I spelled differently, apparently. That's an adult joke. David, cut that out of the audio version, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the show. As always, there could be no show without the Clark Kent doppelganger to my right, world-famous journalist David Thompson, bringing the news and the spicy webs. Thank you to Terry McIver for all of his hard work behind the scenes with guests, socials, research. Without you, bro, this show would be Bush League. Also, always hanging out in the comments, despite it being so bloody late over there. Thank you to the HWWS family for supporting us, carrying us on the network. Most importantly, thank you to you, our fans that join us weekly, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube,
or listening via Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Spreaker.
We appreciate you spending your time with us.
Yes, please like, follow, subscribe, drop us a comment, leave a review, and give us 5 stars if you're feeling generous. We appreciate all of your support.
As always, I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
And I'm David Thompson.
And I'm Ryan Permison, a.k.a. The Quote.
Thank you for joining episode 62. Holy shit, 62? I just realized that number. Of Lights, Thunder, Action. We'll see you Thursday for Loki Special 4. For all time.
Always.